Why owning a single family home in the South Bay can make you wealthy. Today I want to talk about something that affects almost every homeowner and future homeowner here in the South Bay, but specifically today in cities like Torrance, Lawndale, Hawthorne, Gardena, Inglewood, and Carson regarding home appreciation. Whether you're a first-time home buyer trying to get into the market or a homeowner wondering what your investment is really worth, understanding appreciation can literally change your financial future. And in this video specifically, I'm going to break down what appreciation looks like here in the South Bay, why it matters to buyers, why it matters for sellers, and why city data only tells part of the story, and why local expertise really matters. So let's go ahead and get into it. Start the video off with buyers. One of the biggest mistakes I see first-time buyers make is waiting too long because they're thinking prices are going to drop. But the reality here in the South Bay is this: on average, many cities here appreciate $30,000 to $50,000 per year. That means if you wait 1 year, that home could cost you exactly $30,000 to $50,000 more. And that's why home ownership is one of the best investments you can make. When you buy, you're not just buying a mortgage, you're building equity, gaining appreciation, and letting the market work in your favor instead of against you. Every year that you rent instead of own, you're essentially letting the market outpace you instead of building wealth for yourself. So for buyers, appreciation is your friend, but only if you're in the actual game. And that's why, once again, here in the South Bay, property appreciates about $30,000 to $50,000 per year. And unless you could save that exact same amount or more, if you save that exact same amount, you're going to find yourself in the same predicament as you are this year, next year. Unless you save more, then that's the only way that you could truly upgrade or get more for your money in this market in the South Bay. Now for sellers, if you already own a home in the South Bay, appreciation has likely already worked in your favor big time. And many homeowners don't actually realize how much their property has increased in value over time. You may have bought your home years ago and now may be sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars on equity. Understanding appreciation helps you decide when it makes sense for you to sell. Of course, if your goal is to hit a certain price point. Knowing your city's average appreciation rate can help you estimate how long you may need to wait to reach that number. But here's the most important part. Appreciation isn't always perfectly predictable, and market conditions, interest rates, and buyer demand all, of course, play a role. And that's why timing your sale is both an art and a strategy, of course, as a real estate agent. So to go over the average appreciation here in the South Bay in these specific cities for sellers and buyers to help determine when to enter the market, and as well as how not to get outpaced by the market, here are the city national appreciation rate and as well as dollar per mount value. So in Torrance, single family homes are appreciating about 5.4% per year, equating to $49,200 per year. Over in Lawndale, it's 6.2% per year, which is equaling $35,700 per year. Hawthorne, 7.2% per year, $48,500 per year. Inglewood, 7.5% per year, $41,500 per year. Gardena, 6.2% per year, so single family homes are racking up about $36,000 in appreciation per year. And then now, and lastly, Carson, 6.6% per year, which equates to $38,000 per year. So once again, as a seller, that's what you could expect on average for your investment for your home. Buyers, that's what you could expect in appreciation value for those cities, and that way you can know how much you have to save up to not get outpaced by the market. Everything I've talked about so far is macro data, citywide appreciation, but real estate is actually decided at a much more micro level. Two homes in the same city can appreciate very differently based on things like the specific neighborhood, the floor plan, condition of the home, lot size, street location, and overall desirability and demand for that area and home. That's why you can't just rely on Zillow, Redfin, or general statistics. You need a local expert who understands the South Bay at a neighborhood level, and that's where I come in. My job is to analyze your specific home, your specific area, and your specific goals, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. At the end of the day, appreciation is one of the biggest advantages of owning real estate here in the South Bay, but you have to use it wisely. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or just curious what your home is worth, I'd love to help. reach out, drop a comment, or send me a message directly, and let's make sure we're making the best move for your future on your timeline.